What's up, everybody, and welcome to my TNA Impact Wrestling review. A lot of big things happening on the show tonight. Pretty much kicking off with MVP. Talked about what happened last week during the title match and how things are going to change, he says. Because he said he wanted to make sure the talent got over on their own pretty much in type of way when winning the title. Pretty much to get on their own talent instead of forming alliances to take the cheap way out. As Magnus came out with Abyss, he says you're wrong and everything, and you said only time you can tell him what to do is during a title match and stuff, but you don't want to deal with Abyss and everything, and he can't control him, and MVP say would knock him out. But pretty much MVP asked Abyss, would you rather want a title shot or be the ugliest valet in the world and stuff? And if you step up to him, he'll show you who's the most vicious predator and stuff. And pretty much Magnus and Abyss, they didn't want to, pretty much said next week it's going to be a three-way now, a triple threat, MVP said. So you two don't have to team up with each other. Samoa Joe came out then, he came pissed, wondering why he wants his fair title shot. He's not getting this. Is like a handicap match and everything. No, it's not, it's a three-way match. Not a handicap. Because Joe pretty much said MVP can have a hard time controlling him now if you keep this up. These bad decisions, Joe says about MVP. Magnus was about to leave until Joe attacked him, and pretty much MVP watched the brawl go at all three of them until MVP jumped in and started attacking Abyss. Then Eric Young hit the ring and knocked Abyss out of there. Pretty much they all in the ring then, as they pretty much brawled in with the commercial break. And pretty much the brawl ended. Eric Young wanted to be in this title match then, and pretty much MVP, he talked about validating everything, and pretty much Eric Young said, you haven't been here since day one. You've only been here for like what, 10 minutes, and Eric Young's been over at TNA for over 10 years now. And he talked about from Team Canada to the World Elite to playing a superhero, psychopath, being on the TNA front line, all the stuff he's done, and he says people call him the most entertaining wrestler in the world today, which whoever said that needs to check themselves out. Great wrestler, yes, not the most entertaining wrestler in the world though. And he talked about his title accomplishments and stuff. They were talking about the title shots he had, all the titles he's won for the X Division, to the Legends title, Tag Team title, Global title, even the Knockouts Tag Team titles. And pretty much MVP made it's going to be like this, a fatal four-way next week for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship between Magnus, Samoa Joe, Abyss, and Eric Young. And pretty much Joe has said nobody doesn't doubt Eric Young, but Joe wants his turn first. He wants to finish the business he does. Until then, Eric Young gets nothing, he says. So, that was going to be the even playing field. MVP says a fatal four-way match. And pretty much Joe pushed Eric Young, and they start brawling with each other in the ring, and then the referees came out and broke it up. Bully Ray was talking about Twitter and everything. He's talking about it's going to be a whole bunch of tables tonight, so you better watch out for that. And MVP was coming through the back, and the American Wolves wanted to fight Magnus and Abyss, so that was going to get booked for the night. Yes, and EC3 and Rockstar Spud are going to be hunting for Willow tonight, so they hunted through the woods for him. The Wolves then went against Magnus and Abyss. Pretty much a good match from the Wolves. They pretty much won, making Magnus tap out real quickly, Eddie Edwards. And Tasserman says, well, Magnus doesn't want to get injured and everything because he has a title match next week. And pretty much Abyss looked pissed and took the title and walked off with his. Magnus went after him then. So I don't know how it was going to go out to be. Angelina Love came out, called Velvet Sky saying, why haven't you returned calls? And Velvet Sky didn't want to do any of this. And pretty much Angelina said, you lost your edge, your drive, you don't have any more. That's what made the beautiful people what it was. That's what Angelina wanted to remake. And how pretty much Velvet is just pretty much nothing now. Because Velvet didn't want to join after what happened last week with Madison Rain. And pretty much said, you have a decision tonight. Either you're in or you're out. As they hunted for Willow, this is getting more ridiculous by the minute. Pretty much, I guess they kept playing around, and EC3 went to a barn, and when he came back out, Rockstar Spud was gone, and the Willow laugh came on, so that happened. Bully Ray came out, and when he came out, a whole bunch of fans brought out tables and set them out to the ring. As he came out, says, "Do you know who I am?" Which everybody somewhat popped for, and called out Bobby Roode, because there is no more Dixie Carter around here since he took him out. And pretty much Bully Ray, Bobby Roode came out then talking about Bully Ray was nothing. He says, "I spit in the face of Dixie Carter before it was cool, and he's the ick factor of professional wrestling. He runs this place around here, and nothing's gonna stop him. He wasn't gonna fight in the night." As he turned around, Bully Ray pretty much brawled with him then. They brawled throughout the most of the arena right there, pretty much on the outside of it. Bully Ray was getting ready to put him through a table and slam him through a table, even pretty much elbow drop him, but Bobby Roode was able to get out of there then. Pretty much when they got back in the ring, Bully Ray tried to go for a big boot on Magnus on the table. Pretty much his foot went through the table, and tried to slam through another table, but he dodged it, and then Bully Ray tried to charge into Bobby Roode, and pretty much he went through the table himself, Bully Ray, and pretty much Bobby Roode backed off then and got the hell up out of there. Which was a really good brawl. Enjoy it. Even the promos from both of my guys. Really good promos. And the brawl was crazy out there. Abyss was in the back. He came back with the title, and Magnus said, "What are you gonna do next week, huh?" He said, "You get your head in the game and stuff." Because what would happen next week if Magnus fires Abyss, and Abyss stood there and just looked in? Mike Knox or Nux was, whatever they're doing, the hell with him, talking to some woman with, I don't know, people that look like a stripper on, whatever the hell he was talking to, fixing arcade machines with some blood. There was some girl with a fat ass that looked like a stripper out there. Pretty much the teeth hanging out. I was looking at people, somebody told me about that when I was watching the show, and talked about who could fix it and stuff. And pretty much whoever this woman was told, not Nux or whatever, to go to the go up, talk, to make things right with his dad, and saying he's up at the old shop and everything, so they could have a talk. So I don't know where they're going with Mike Knox. Angela Lovely against Madison Rayne. Velvet came to watch. Pretty much the match went on. Velvet pretty much attacked Madison Rayne, DDT'd her, rolled her back in the ring. Angelina got the pin, pretty much making the beautiful people back together again. So I guess that was going to be something. Eric Young was getting ready for his match against Samoa Joe, which pretty much he lost real quickly from the rear naked choke. He thought he was going to break out, but he didn't. So that match went quick. And pretty much the referee started arguing if it was even a pin or a tap out. One said it was a pin, Earl Hebner. I guess it was Brian Hebner said it was a tap out. So I guess they're trying to see who was going to be the side winner of that. Sam Shaw was back. He went in the room, he had a camera with him, and pretty much went in there, and Christy Hemme slapped him and took a piece, and he pretty much took scissors and cut a piece off her hair and took it with her, so that was something. And then all of a sudden, next week, it's going to be a straitjacket match between Mr. Anderson and Sam Shaw for some reason, and it'll be a tag team table match between Willow and Bully Ray versus Bobby Roode and EC3. So that was going to happen. And then Storm went against Gunner, pretty much whatever, 2 Unchained, pretty much a no disqualification, no pins, no countouts, they said. So that was going to happen. And pretty much going in that match, pretty much I got to say one thing, a hell of a brawl. Hell of a brawl. Put shoes in there? Yeah, put a hell of a brawl, I'll say that. Pretty much really good spots in each other with the trash can lids. Pretty much a back and forth shot. You didn't know who was going to go down. And pretty much Gunner hitting the spear on Mac, hitting the spear on Storm through the table out there. Pretty much crashed. crap, it was TNA then. Even the fun spot they did back at the Lockdown pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. Pretty much another superplex through both tails, then Storm hitting 2 double super kicks while he's still standing. I got a crowd is just going nuts out there. And then pretty much coming to the end of the match, they both pretty much hit beer bottles in, but Gunner was able to hit the first shot, his finish of it, I guess the gun rack or some new thing had it, and pretty much won the match. It was the best thing out of tonight's show was Gunner versus Storm 2, so that happened. And pretty much the end of the show, EC3 pretty much still looking for Jeff Hardy or Willow, whatever the hell you want to call them, pretty much fighting Rockstar Spud. Tied up, and did not know where Willow was. Pretty much a laugh kept happening, and he said, "Where is he?" And he pretty much stood behind EC3 and pretty much beat him with an umbrella and left him there. And the cameraman just going all crazy, wondering why nobody cut up EC3. And I guess that's how it's gonna be played now. So whatever Jeff Hardy, Willow, or whatever the hell this whole thing is, I don't know. But we'll have to see what happens next week. A lot of big, I guess, a real stack next week. Got title on the line, Magnus versus Joe versus Eric Young versus Abyss for the title. Like I said, straight jacket match with Anderson and Sam Shaw, and tag team title match between Willow and Bully Ray versus Bobby Roode and EC3. So once again, it's me, H-double-D, coming here with the news and reviews. And now we're done with this review today. Comment, subscribe, and keep watching more of TNA. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. If you thought it was a good show tonight, leave it in the comment box. I'm out of here. See you later. Peace.